Hello, everyone. Welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 321, take 2. Because I figured turning on my microphone would be a good idea for this podcast. I mean, it's always worth trying new things. A podcast without sound. I mean, that's a bold choice, but not every experiment is going to be successful. So it is in the kitchen, so it is in a podcast, so it is in the bedroom. So what I have been, to those watching live, to what I was soundlessly speaking about, ranting, dare I say, for the past 5 minutes, was the new Like a Dragon game, Eisen, which is finally, after 2014, I think? Yeah, so 9 years. One of the Yakuza games was localized. One of the ones we didn't get. And there's one of two. We don't have the PSP spin-offs, but I don't know many fans of the franchise who care that much. I don't know. Maybe they weren't very good. But I've always really, really wanted to play Yakuza Kenzan, which I think was 2008, and Eisen, which was 2014, I believe. These games essentially take the casts, so to speak, from the mainline Yakuza games and transports. Why does that sound wrong to me? And transports them to ye olden Japan. I think Kenzan takes place in the 17th century, and the one that just came out, Eisen, takes place in the 19th century. I'm like, ooh, Kiryu with a sword? Sign me up! And Yuh-KOO-zuh Studios, or more likely Sega, is like, oh, nah, Americans don't like samurai. Americans don't like anything too Japanese. Are you not paying attention, Sega? But, hey, Ishin's coming out. The physical, I think the digital version came out yesterday. The physical version comes out on Tuesday. And though I've been whining for it, please localize it, I've been whining for 9 years. Well, I probably didn't hear about it until a couple years later. But several years I've been whining for it and getting one, and I ain't buying it until they drop the damn price, because I ain't paying $60 for it. Hello, Chicago. But it's not a Nintendo game, so it will go on sale or it will drop in price eventually. But nevertheless, even though I'm not willing to pay $60 for it, I am eagerly anticipating playing it. So I bide my time by living vicariously through the reviews that those who have played it that those who have played it have written. And I've watched several of the video reviews too. And I was reminded that the American enthusiast press has a nasty habit of not pronouncing Japanese words correctly. This coming from the dude who's playing through the Trails, the Trails series, and can't pronounce anything correctly. Because there's a lot of German and French words in those games, and yeah, I'm butchering them all. And I'm not saying I pronounce Japanese words correctly. No. But I at least try, and I at least get closer than many of the in the enthusiast press who keep calling it the Yakuza series. Now, there are many words in Japanese that just do not easily roll off the English tongue. The name of the studio that makes these games is one of them, which is why many just refer to it as RGG Studio, because it's a lot easier to say than Yuh-KOO-zuh Studio, which I just butchered. So, RGG. I try not to get too upset when people say Tokyo instead of Tokyo, or its reverse, Kyoto, or karaoke. We're Americans. We're very silly. And that's somewhat close, kind of. It's arguably an Americanized version, but for the love of pancakes, Yakuza. It's just Yakuza. That's easy to say. It's not Yakuza, it's Yakuza. And hell, even my pronunciation isn't perfect, but that's at least closer. Yakuza is a lot closer than Yakuza, which is just wrong. So why do so many in the enthusiast press keep referring to the series as the Yakuza series? Probably because that's how they heard someone else pronounce it, and that person heard someone else pronounce it that way, and no one really knows Japanese phonetics, so they don't know how it's actually pronounced. They're just I heard some Kamurocho, the main city in Yakuza, is apparently, I have heard, been based on a real city called Kabukicho. I heard someone. Let me write it down just to make sure I'm getting it right. Kabukicho. Right. Kabukicho. I heard someone say it as Kabukicho. I was like, what? Kabukicho? Yeah. Kabuki. Kabuki. Cho. Kabukicho. I'm like, I see why you would read it that way, but no, Kabukicho. It's not Kabukicho. There's a bunch of, I imagine, now a bunch of people in Japan, what did I say? The 0.5% of my viewing audience is in Japan, and I imagine they die a little bit inside when I try to pronounce Japanese words correctly. I can't imagine how much it hurts the soul to listen to the American enthusiast press going, oh yeah, I love the Yakuza games. Hey, did you know that this city is based on the real life city of Kabukicho? Where people sing karaoke. Really, for all the mispronunciation that bothers me the most as an American for some reason is Yakuza. If the American enthusiast press could just fix that one thing, the title of the series, I would be a happy clam. Clams are very happy. It's an excellent happiness standard. Which makes you wonder, did Ryoga Gotoku Studios go, okay, they're never going to get Yakuza correct. They're going to keep calling it Yakuza. So let's just change the name of the series to Like a Dragon. That way they don't have to say Yakuza. They can pronounce Like a Dragon, and we can. Except most of the video reviews I saw still refer to the broader series as the Yakuza series. Hey, Lyrically C, haven't seen you in a while, hope you're well. Chicago says they're probably only familiar with jacuzzi, so they're calling it Yakuza. Yakuza. Hey, let's throw on some swim shorts and go relax in the Yakuza. Lyrically C, I used to say Yakuza. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. And most of the enthusiast press, at least what I've seen, pronounce it that way. So I'm not trying to thumb my nose or at anyone or call anyone names for getting it wrong. As I said, I pronounce things incredibly wrong all the time because I don't know how to sound out words in French very well. Or like at all. And I'm terrible at German too. I used to actually. No, actually, I don't think I ever bothered to learn the phonetics of German. I've learned several different songs in several different languages phonetically, but it's rare that I ever learned the actual rules. So, Lyrically C says, loved your Valentine video. You're such an amazing storyteller. Love the build up to the end. Thank you. Glad you did. Unfortunately, YouTube saw fit to send it to, if their analytics can be trusted, of my 11,400 and some odd subscribers, YouTube notified 256 people that I had a video. So if you ever look at my view count and wonder, why does Andrew only get like a few dozen views, well, several dozen views per video? He's got over 11,000 subscribers. Why aren't they watching his vids? Did they all lose interest? No, YouTube just doesn't notify anybody. I have a friend at work who I actually was talking to him about this last week. He says, yeah, when I found out you had a YouTube channel, I subscribed like back in August, and I actually listen to your like podcasts and stuff while I work as background noise. And I said, great. I said, and I asked him, and he told me, yeah, I have literally never received a notification. I said, did you click the bell too? Did you subscribe and click the notification bell and select the all notification? You go, yeah, I did, but I never get notified of your videos ever. Not once. I watch your stuff, but I never get notifications. So I think what happened, now I've been on YouTube for some years, over 10, and I had my subscribership since I started, pretty much, especially after I started essentially with the Nintendo Why Won't You Give Me My Money video, and that got a lot of attention, and I slowly built up subscribers over the next 6-7 years. And I got to, I think, like 11,300. And then that subscriber growth did not taper off. It just suddenly stopped. And I'd have to go look and see if this is actually the right date. But I have a feeling that it's the same time that YouTube introduced the notification bell. Because what they did was, it used to be if you subscribe to a channel, you get notified of the videos of the channel you're subscribed to, which is why you subscribe to it, ostensibly. So they added the notification bell, which means that the 11,300 people subscribed to my channel suddenly didn't get notifications anymore because they didn't click the bell. And I asked YouTube this, and they said, yeah, it defaults to not notifying. So they defaulted pretty much all of my subscribers to, we're not going to tell any of your subscribers. Which is why to this day, I constantly get messages, like one a week at least, from people. It's like, oh hey, it's great to see, I remember you from years ago for this video or whatever. It's like, great to see you still doing stuff. It's like, yeah, I never stopped. YouTube just stopped notifying you. Funny thing, I talked to YouTube about this, and they said, well, you should tell your subscribers to click the notification bell. And I said, great. How do I do that if you don't send them my videos? I mean, I could make a video saying, hey, subscribers, remember to click the bell so you get notified of my videos. But if you don't send them that video, they're never going to see it. And I don't have the email addresses of subscribers or something. It's not like I can mass email my subscribers and say, hey, everyone, if you want to get notified of my stuff, you got to click the bell. I can't do that. I don't have that option. So, what does that mean? I mean, I don't do this for a living, so it's not a big deal. But I admit, I am bummed out that there are people, few though they may be, that would be interested in watching my goofy content and don't have that opportunity. Because they subscribe to my channel like they were supposed to, but YouTube just doesn't notify them. And, as I just pointed out with this friend from work, clicking the notification button does not guarantee you that why do I keep wanting to call them Nintendo? That YouTube will actually send you a notification. What's interesting is, looking at my analytics, I think only 6% of my views actually come from subscribers. The other 94% or whatever it is comes from people seemingly just either searching something really weird, like, this is actually funny. Let me look up these analytics, because it was actually funny. So my Valentine's Day video, which is called My First Kiss, 2 Girls, 1 Hot Tub. You think if you put that title in front of 11,430 odd people, you'd get more than 84 views? Nope. 84 views. Let's see. What page is this on? Is it audience? No. Is it engagement? No. Is it reach? Which page it is? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, 6% of the views were from notifications. 6%. So 6% of that 84. But here's the fun thing. Here are the 20.2% of my viewers for the Valentine's Day video were from YouTube search terms. What that means is someone was looking for something on YouTube and my video was among the results. So what were people looking for when they stumbled across my Valentine's Day video? The top 5 are Kiss Hot, Hot Girls Kiss Girls, 2 Girls Hot Kiss, 2 Girls Hot Video, and 2 Girls 1 Boy Kiss. I am so sorry to the 20.2% who clicked on my video thinking they were gonna get something completely different. I probably made that yeah, there's like 15 people. Was it 15 people or something like that? They're probably really pissed. That's not what I was searching for. God damn it. Well, we said Ninja Gaiden wrong back in the day. How did we say it back? Did we say Gaiden? What was that? What we kids on the playground were saying, Ninja Gaiden? Of course, you know, when we were a kid, if you're my age, 43, when we were on the playground, I don't know how many of us actually had a concept of these games are from Japan and are originally in a different language. Everything's English. So we saw Ninja Gaiden. It's like, Gaiden? What is a Gaiden? Well, I mean, you know, I'm 8 or 9 years old. We're still working on that vocabulary. There's a bunch of words I don't know. I guess Gaiden is just one of them. No, young Andrew, it's Gaiden. Oh! I still don't know what a Gaiden is. So, yeah, Ninja Gaiden. Lyrically C says, wonder how many games we said wrong because we weren't informed on the pronunciation about them. Yeah, and as I said, partially because when we were really young, I don't think we really understood that these were games from a different country originally in a different language. Oh, is Lindy Lee here? I don't see her, but if she's there, hi. Hi, Momo. I watch YouTube every night, so I rarely ever miss anything from channels I watch. Never had to hit notify on anything, I guess. Yeah, you know, the channels what I do is I bookmark the video page of the channels I'm interested in watching, and then when I'm in the mood to watch something, I open up my bookmarks and I go, oh, let's see what they've uploaded recently. I don't rely on YouTube's notifications because I don't trust them. They keep recommending hate speech and stuff to me, so yeah. Let's see. Lyrically, see, I did until seeing The Wizard. Yeah. Kiss hot, hot kiss good. Yeah, you know, there's a reason why the long time ago, I did a reaction video, which was making fun of reaction videos, in which I reacted to a bunch of different things. A jump scare in Five Nights at Freddy's, the new Star Wars trailer. It was the Force Awakens. That was coming out in the next year, and the trailer had just dropped. So I did a thing where I was reacting to all these different things. Or, it was my reaction video. Andrew reacts to a jump scare. Ah! Andrew reacts to the new Star Wars trailer. So that was the whole joke. Andrew reacts to gory surgery videos. Nothing. Andrew reacts to porn, and it's, censored, but you can hear the flesh slappy noises. And then Andrew reacts to kittens. That's this video of cute mewling kittens. I'm just, furiously masturbating. That's the joke, you see. Then I thought it would be... I think it's called something like Why I Don't Do Reaction Videos, or something like that. So I thought it would be fun to show that video to my mother and record her reaction. And of course the most notable thing about it is, you're going to show your mother a video where you pantomime masturbating to kittens? Yep. So I did. Actually, I have two videos. And one's called... mother reacts to son masturbating, and the other one is sister reacts to brother masturbating, because I showed them the videos and filmed their reactions. Those, I think, are the videos of mine with the most views. They're well over 1 million. And if you look at the if you look at the YouTube search terms what people are searching for and landing on those videos, it's pretty funny. It's like, why are you searching YouTube for that kind of content? You clearly have internet maybe it's kids with, is there, some adult website blocker software or something that the kids, for some reason, can't get around, so they're... you know what this is the equivalent of? Modern day kids who have anti-adult website software on their computers, getting their as much porn as they possibly can on YouTube, I imagine is analogous to kids in the 70s or 80s or something like that, who, at the time, there's no internet, so the only pornography you had were magazines, but you couldn't get them because they came from stores, so you either needed to know a friend who had them or steal out of a parent's bedside table or something, or you had to resort to something like the JCPenney catalog and flipping to the underwear section or something. That kids who did that in the 70s and 80s and maybe part of the 90s, I think that's what might be going on with modern day YouTube, with searching for hot girls kissing and whatever mom-son masturbation stuff. It's like, well, okay, I mean, you're into some interesting porn. I don't know how successful you're gonna be looking for it on YouTube, unless that's the only place you could possibly find videos because of blocking software or something. But good luck. I hope you enjoyed my stupid videos, even though it's clearly not what you were looking for. Andrew reacts to... Oh, yeah, that was one of the gags in there, is, Andrew reacts to Andrew, and it's me kind of not reacting to me, not reacting to other stuff. So an Ouroboros of reaction is pretty funny. Or reaction inception. I always like that video. But it's the, the original video, the Why I Don't Do Reaction Videos, it did pretty well. I think it's got tens of thousands of views or something, but the one I showed Mom and the one I showed my sister, those have millions of views. So... Chicago says there were friends who swore you could find a porn channel on cable, but it was scrambled. Or watching, the scrambled channels, and it's I'm pretty sure there are people naked behind all the fuzzy stuff. Pretty sure. My imagination is telling me that is hot. So. Momo says, I really like your reaction videos, even though there's no reaction. Yeah, I occasionally did like a reaction to like a Nintendo Direct or a Nintendo presentation, and when I'm watching something, I watch something. I rarely have much of a physical reaction to anything. So what I did with those videos is I narrated them later. I went back and just played them at 4 times speed and just talked about what was running through my head at the same time. I thought that was a nice balance. What's funny is playing back my reactions at full speed is I don't sit completely still. I might be rocking back and forth, but when you play it back, it's pretty funny. But anyway, the proper pronunciation is much closer to Yakuza than Yakuza. So, but I mean, the series is called Like a Dragon now, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Sure do look forward to the new game dropping in price, because I would really, really like to play it. So, did I ever do an update to the Nintendo Switch list of games? Was it third party that you talked about? Oh yeah, I think I did one update to that. Yeah, I think there was before the Switch came out. So the Switch came out May 3rd. Was it March or May? It was early in the year, spring of 2017. The previous fall, Nintendo, released an infographic showing here's all the neat, here's like 30 companies or something that's working with us on games. Oh, it's so cool! Look at all these companies doing games. So either at launch or shortly thereafter, I did a video looking at all of the games from those 30 companies, or however many were on the infographic, what games had resulted from this partnership. And the point I made in the video is it wasn't much, and most of it was like old stuff, like really old stuff. Very little of it was actually almost none of it was exclusive to the Switch, and very little of it was anything new. Most everything from those third parties was old games that you've been able to play on other systems in better quality. So, I think I did one follow-up to that. I might be mistaken, but I could have kept following up on that, but it just kept ballooning and it would have been way too much work. But the For Everything But Wii U thing, I think I made 3 of those. I think I did one final one once, roundabouts when the Switch came out, or at least the previous summer, because they just stopped making Wii U games at that point. So I think I did a final, here's how many games are on the For Everything But Wii U list, and it's like hundreds. It's a lot. That video just took so damn long to put together. March 3rd, okay, yeah. Chicago says that never worked. What we did was run into the adult section of the local video rental place. Then we got chased out. I never saw that. I guess you have to run into, like, it wouldn't be Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. It would have had to been a privately owned rental place. But, you saw on TV shows and stuff, you go to the video store, and then there was the doorway with no door, but like hanging beads or something that you had to go in. That was the back place where all the porn was. I never saw that. Now, I guess I'm not too terribly surprised that like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video didn't have that, or at least none of the ones that I frequented did. But I remember there was one video store near me that was not a chain; it was just a local owned video store, and they didn't have at least not to my memory, they didn't have it. Maybe I was just a really boring kid and never cared and never looked. Maybe that was it. But yeah. Wouldn't have mattered. Couldn't rent anything anyway. I guess you could look at the box art and, you know, there's a cheap thrill. Cafe Fox says, my parents ended up getting a scrambler, so all those channels came out clear. When I was, let's see, in the 90s, there were like four pay cable stations that late at night would run the softcore stuff. There was Showtime, HBO, Cinemax, and there was one other. What was it? I don't remember. But it's actually kind of weird thinking about how, you know, that model from the 80s and 90s. Because these pay stations, these pay cable stations, you know, they had full movies without commercials. And essentially what they do is, you know, week to week, they'd have 20 or 30 movies that they just constantly air. And, you know, they just air them at multiple times throughout the day. And, you know, they just cycle through them. Maybe not even 20 or 30, probably less than that. But, but every once in a while they'd have like a free weekend. So you could watch movies and stuff, which was cool. But it's interesting, you know, compared to today, because after that, you know, you would pay for the opportunity to be able to watch full movies and recent releases, stuff that came out in the theater like only 6 months ago, 6 or 8 months ago, and no commercials. You know, it's just like the whole theater, only you're watching it on your, you know, 19-inch tube television. After that, we came out with, you know, or in the 80s and 90s, we had VCRs. So you had to, you know, television was on a schedule. You had a little book, and you looked up, okay, this movie I want to watch is playing at this certain time, so I have to sit on my couch and watch the TV at this certain time, or I can't see it. Well, then you had the VCR, so you could record it and watch it later. Then we got smart VCRs, you know, the TiVos and stuff like that, where you could set it to record stuff. And then we got direct TV and smart TVs and stuff, where stuff aired when it aired, but your cable box was kind of like a smart VCR with a hard drive that just recorded stuff for you. So you could kind of watch live TV, but then rewind it, and then, you know, you'd essentially be watching it on a delay, and then you could fast forward to live. Now we have streaming, where it's just a catalog of stuff, and you can watch whatever you want whenever you want, which is pretty cool. And I do see a lot of people, I've seen several people going, oh, we always wanted a la carte kind of cable. It's like, well, why am I paying $80 a month for cable when I only watch 6 channels? And, well, now we have a bunch of streaming services, and people are adding up the price for all the streaming services and going, well, there you go. Now it's more than what you were paying in the first place, which is misleading, because that $80 for cable was not for Cinemax and HBO and Showtime and whatever the fourth one was, or any of the pay-per-view channels. So, you know, you're looking at like $150. And also, even if 6 subscription services, unless you're subscribed to something that costs like $20, $25 a month, I don't know what you're subscribed to, but most of the subscription services are $10 to $15, sometimes cheaper. Like Shudder, for instance, is only like $7 or $8 a month. You can have 6 or 7 streaming services, and it's still cheaper than what a lot of us were paying for a full cable package back in the 80s or 90s. So, no, it's still cheaper. So, let's see. Chicago says, Andrew, yeah, they were privately owned video stores. They had swinging doors for the adult section, like the saloon doors in the old westerns. Really? Huh. I kind of like the beads. Maybe that was just a movie thing. I remember the first time I went out dancing. A friend of mine said, hey, want to go to Beechwood? And Beechwood is a dance club in PB at Pacific Beach, where I used to live. And I was like, no. But I told her, okay. And I went into it. That was really the first time I'd ever been to, you know, really loud music where if you want to talk to anybody, you have to scream in their ear. And it's just, disco ball and lights and just people out on the floor just jumping up and down and stuff like that. Now, prior to that experience, I saw movies where that took place in a dance club, and I saw, people grinding, and I'm like, that's just a movie thing. No one actually does that. Yeah, they do. I was wrong. That's actually a thing that people do in real life, apparently. Kind of weird to me, but I mean, you do you. I ain't grinding my pelvis into a complete stranger. Hell, I'm so prudish, I ain't grinding my pelvis into someone I know. Not even someone I know really, really well. But yeah, that grinding's a thing. How about that? So you can trust some of the stuff you see in movies, but apparently not the beaded partition to the adult section of privately owned video stores. Chicago says they hated how the Wii U exclusives got ported. Rayman Legends, Zombie U, Lego City Undercover. Well, they are to Lego City Undercover to a lesser extent, but especially Rayman Legends and Zombie U, they're missing, of course, the touchscreen functionality. And it's like, I mean, they work, but it leaves some, I think Zombie U loses the most. But it's nice that all quality games, it's nice that people got a chance to play them. I played them on the Wii U. So, Chicago goes on as or definitive editions like Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, Deus Ex Human Revolution. Yeah, I actually played Human Revolution. It's a solid game. It was fun. It's one of those games that does a. It's funny because the opening scene is that you go to work, and they're like, "Hey, you, Adam, you cop, you. There's a hostage situation, and so go up onto the roof, get in the helicopter, and go save the hostages." I'm like, "Absolutely, I will." As soon as I explore every square inch of this building, including the ladies' restroom and the ventilation systems, looking for little trinkets and things to collect. So, I spent 15 minutes exploring the station, the hub base. Then I made my way to the roof, got in the helicopter, and went to save the hostages, and they'd all been long dead. It's like, wow, Adam. Shame you felt the need to, go dick around in the women's room, because now all the hostages are dead. You jerk. I'm like, oh, I'm so used to video games waiting on me. Which is a great way to open a game because it really makes you think about what you're doing from what you do and how you do it from then on. Even though that only happens at the beginning. There is nothing else in the game that's dependent on you doing something right now. But it does make you think. I thought that was funny. Chicago says maybe they're including the price of their ISP if they had to get faster speeds to be able to stream movies. That's true. Your cable bill did not include... I mean, you were paying the power bill, but we're paying that today. So in addition to the power bill, we are paying for our internet access. So that's true. Although, looking at the infographic I saw was just listing the prices of a couple streaming services and getting some of them wrong too, which is, I'm like, you could just look this up. It's like I've seen a couple people on social media be like, oh my gosh, this thing in the news that nobody's talking about that I know because I saw it on the news. The train derailment in Ohio? Which, I was like, wow. Right after, so we've been complaining about, reducing safety regulations and overworking the crews that run trains. And it's like, if you keep doing that stuff, we're going to have accidents and people are going to get hurt. And the powers that be goes, nah, but then we'd have to, that costs money, and we like the money. All of it. We'd rather just, not spend money on, safety inspections and spend money on lots of people. We'd just like to pay lots of people and overwork them. And I'm sure it'll be fine. And then some weeks later, train derails and drops toxic crap all over the place. And I thought to my first thought was like, wow, that was prescient. And then I was like, wait a minute, how often does this happen? And I looked it up, and there's like train derailments every damn day. It's like this. It's not like, wow. I mean, they weren't kidding. What are the odds that right after this happened, a train derail? Well, very good, because this shit happens like every day in this country. Because we have very lax safety regulations, and we underpay and overwork our staff and short-staff them. So we, broadly American culture here, American business culture particularly, ensure that this stuff keeps happening. But, the people at the top make a lot of money. It's actually just, it's cheaper for them to just, pay out, whatever the fine is, and maybe there's some class action suits for the people who live in the town wherever that derailment happened, and now they've got headaches and maybe a risk of future liver cancer. It's like, the amount of money that we pay out in settlements and PR and stuff like that is far less than, just paying people to inspect the trains and getting enough staff to safely operate trains and stuff. So that's a problem. One that maybe we should fix. I mean, it's, if a fine does nothing to actually deter the behavior that the fine is meant to deter, well, then you need to change something. I mean, that would be like, if I really didn't want to drive the speed limit, if I just really liked speeding, it was fun to drive fast. I've got sonic-itis. I gotta go fast. Right? But the consequence for speeding was 50 cents. Well, okay. I can afford that. I mean, I'm not made of money, but... you were speeding, Andrew. You caught me. We're gonna fine you for speeding because speeding is dangerous. You could kill somebody. I have several times. Yeah, and that's bad. So we're gonna fine you for speeding. That's 50 cents. And running over school children. That's $5 a piece. Oh, okay. So how much do I owe you? $25.50. Oh. Phooey. That'll teach you. You're not going to speed anymore, are you, Andrew? Why wouldn't I? I'm going to speed on the way home from paying my ticket. It's like, we keep fining Andrew, but he keeps speeding and killing kids in crosswalks. But what can we do? We fine him every single time, and he just keeps doing it. What can be done? I don't know. Did you think maybe throw his ass in jail for murdering children? I mean, that's one thing. But I mean, if you really didn't want to do that, maybe increase the fine to the point where it, was harmful. It's like, okay, Andrew, you were speeding. That's $25,000.50. Oh. Well, that's... But that's a significant chunk of my annual revenue. I have to eat and pay rent with that money. It's like, yeah, so maybe you should stop speeding and running over school children. damn it, we might be onto something here. Yeah. I think, maybe fines... It seems kind of silly to me, for fines to be just a fixed dollar amount, right? Because, you throw trash out your window as you drive down the highway and you get fined for littering. And it's like, it's some weird... There are signs posted in California. It's, don't litter, $403 fine. I'm like, it's an odd number. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but why is it 403? Why isn't it even 400? That tells me that someone was actually factoring stuff and calculating things and ended up with a result of 403. It's rare would you just come up with an arbitrary... What should we make the fine for littering? $403. Okay. But the thing is, throwing trash out your window, $403. Okay. Here's the obvious problem with that. $403 means a lot to me. And $403 is impossible for some people. And for others, $403 is nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like charging someone 50 cents. $403. I make $4 million a year. What do I give a shit about $403? So, what you end up with is a punishment that affects poor people more than it does anyone else. So, you end up with a system that just punishes you more for being poor. It's like, you littered. You're bad. And you're poor. That's even worse. No. You're an asshole for throwing garbage out your window as you're driving down the freeway, but being poor when you do it, it does not make you a worse person. You're the same level of scumbag, regardless of how much money you have in the bank, right? So maybe fines should be based on how much money you have. Maybe fines should be like percentages of your net worth or something like that, right? So, if you're, a teacher and you're only making $22,000 a year, whatever absurdly low amount teachers make in this state, your fine is like, $403 or $200 or something like that. But if you make $4 million a year, then it's like, oh, okay, your fine is $900,000. Oh, well, okay, I might rethink throwing trash out the window now, because that's a significant chunk of that's damn near a quarter of my my monthly or yearly take. I might rethink my asswipe ways. Yes, rethink the way you wipe your... anyway. How did I get off on that tangent? That's not in my show notes. Cafe says, actually, at the end of the game, if you're too slow helping your pilot friend when she crashes, she dies if you go fast enough. Oh, right. Yeah, there is a... I mean... Aren't you, like... Isn't, like, she in the copter and she's, like, starting it up and you have to fight off waves of baddies? I mean, I don't recall that being... I mean, that seems kind of obvious. You have to fight off the baddies or she's going to die. I don't recall... I could totally be wrong. It's been a long time since I played it. But I don't recall it being like, I'll go get the chopper warmed up. You get to me when you can. If you take too long, she's dead. I don't think that's how it goes, but... yeah, similar enough. Not too bad. Alright, so, yes, I know exactly how to fix the world. It's easy. All you have to do is ask me, some random dipshit on the internet. Damn it, why didn't we just ask Andrew? He knows all. Well, with a couple minutes left of the podcast, there's a movie I've known about for 30 some years. It's called Nekromantik. Great name, right? Nekromantik. What could that be about? It's about the love of people and dead people. I've always wanted to see this movie, mainly because of the name, and also that sounds like a really... I like gross, stupid schlock and horror and grue, and I heard it was a really disgusting movie, and it's about people who invite... it's about a couple who open their relationship to a dead person. Invite a third to their bed, a dead person. I'm like, that could be hilarious. Well, both Nekromantik and Nekromantik 2 actually hit Shudder this week, which is a horror streaming service that I subscribe to. And so I finally had the opportunity to watch this movie. And, oh god, it's terrible. It's really boring. And thank goodness it's only like 70 minutes, because, oh man, this movie is a slog to sit through. For me, where it goes wrong is I looked into the background of this film a little bit, and apparently it was a German film. It was made in the late 80s as a way to speak out against the German censorship of the time. There was, the whatever regulatory boards they had that prohibited films from depicting certain things. Some dude was like, "You're not gonna tell me what I can show in my movie, gall darn it to heck," he said in German. I'm going to make the Oh, you don't want me to just depict that or that or that in my movies? Oh, well, how about I make a movie about necrophilia, huh? How about I show people licking rotting corpses, huh? You're not gonna like that. I'm gonna put some, I'm gonna put archival footage of someone skinning a bunny. Has nothing to do with the movie, but I'm gonna put it in there. Because you're not gonna like it. I mean... It's a very angry movie. It's someone going, "Oh yeah, you can't tell me what to do. Look what I did." Yeah, and the movie got banned in several different countries. So I mean, mission accomplished. But the problem is it's just a really boring, uninteresting movie. There are like there are two moments where I think it actually meets its potential and becomes funny. Which, I mean, if you're gonna make a movie about people who sleep with corpses, make something entertaining. It should be gross, it should be off-putting, but it should also be kind of funny. And there's one scene where the couple have the dead corpse, and it's not a fresh dead corpse. This is someone who's been dead and underwater for like 3 weeks. It is a rotting, gross, half-decomposed, very sticky, slimy corpse. This is not sexy at all. Not supposed to be. So you might think, well, how does one get it on with a corpse? I mean, rigor mortis can only do so much, if you know what I mean. And I think you do, as Joe Bob Briggs would say. Well, they have a solution for that. So they cut off, they cut like an 8-inch length of metal pipe, and then they just jam it into the corpse's groin, and ride that. After rolling a condom over the metal pipe that they've stuck to this corpse's groin. Now that's the kind of ridiculous shit I expect to see in my Nekromantik movie. That's funny. The movie's terrible though. The guy does get a Dear John letter in the back half of the film. It's like, "Dear Sam," whatever his name is, "I don't like you anymore. You just don't have any vision, or you're I'm going places and you're not. We're growing apart, so I'm leaving, and I took our friend with me." And he turns around, and the corpse, which they were hanging on the wall with a drip pan underneath, is gone, and there's this big staining splotch on the wall where the corpse was. He's like, he turns around, the corpse is missing. God damn it, she did take the corpse. My girlfriend left me and took our corpse. That's funny. And that's the two things. No, there's a third thing that's actually kind of funny. So he dies. I forget how he dies. I honestly don't remember how he dies. But so he dies and he's buried. And the final shot of the movie is his tombstone and the fresh dirt mound over his grave. And suddenly a shovel comes into the view, goes into the dirt, and a high-heeled shoe pushes the shovel into the dirt. So probably his girlfriend thinking maybe they can patch things up. Maybe that's the plot of Nekromantik 2. She digs his ass up. Sammy, I changed my mind. I love you, Sammy. Oh, you're even better now that you're dead. I'm like, the guy is such a terrible human being anyway. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what he deserves. Get dug up and used as a sex toy. But unfortunately, those are like the only 3 decent moments in the entire film. Am I going to watch Nekromantik 2? I looked and it's like 110 minutes. So I'm like, nope. No, I'm not going to watch that. It's just too damn boring. And really, that's the biggest problem for... Oh, is that the problem with the movie, Andrew? Not like the necrophilia? No, not for me. The problem is the movie's very, very boring. It feels... As I said, it's only 70 minutes. It feels like there's really only about 55 minutes of movie there, and it was just padded out to 70 minutes. Because almost every scene in this film just lingers forever. And I don't mean lingering in a, here's something gross. Yeah, look at the gross thing. You gonna puke? Is little baby gonna puke? Do you need to leave the theater? Oh, you wimp. Yeah, it's not that. It's like, at one point, the character goes to the movie theater, and this is what feels like an 8-minute scene of him watching a movie. It's just, every scene in this movie just drags on and on forever because they needed to get it to feature length. Actually, you know what the most off-putting, most genuinely stomach-churningly disgusting thing in the entire film is? It's in that scene where he goes to the movies. People are smoking in the movie theater. Oh, I've never been so offended. It's really gross. I think smoking was banned from theaters by the time I started going to theaters. So, man, I can't even... Or at least most theaters, because I don't remember anyone ever being able to smoke in theaters, even when I was young. Glad they did that, because... God, that's gross. How could you enjoy anything? I mean, even if you're a smoker and you don't mind the smell, I mean, there's like smoke. Now the movie's all hazy. You know? Oh man, I went to, when my sister graduated college, she was going to move to New York. And so we were throwing her a go-away party. Well, her friends were throwing her a go-away party. I was invited because I'm her brother. So she was having her party at a place called Hamburger Mary's, which is a hamburger place with karaoke. I went, and I don't know what the hell people there were smoking, but it wasn't exactly cigarettes. It was cloves. I found out later it was cloves, and oh my god. I actually retreated to the Hamburger Mary's bathroom 3 or 4 times throughout the night for fresh air. That's how horrible that smoky stuff is. I got home, and I could still taste it. I had to, like, just strip and throw everything in the laundry and hop into the shower. Ugh, it's terrible. Smoking. Blah. Let's see. She crashes, you get swarmed by enemies. If you don't take them out fast enough, they kill her. Yeah, close enough. Yeah. Lyrically see. Wait, what? Okay, I need to see this movie. You don't. You. I mean, go ahead. It's streaming. It's on Shudder right now. So there you go. Do keep in mind the most upsetting thing in the movie is there is actually a scene of a bunny slaughtered and skinned. Now, if it makes a difference, it's actually it was not footage shot for the film. It was actually archival footage of some ranch that was beating a rabbit on the head, slitting its throat, then skinning it to cook it for dinner. It was like probably from a documentary or something. So they didn't kill a bunny for the movie, but you do see a real bunny die. And yeah, so just there's your content warning. Because you go into a movie about, a romantic necrophilia movie, I mean, no one wants to get blindsided by someone, throat slitting a bunny and ripping its skin off. Because that's, ugh. And, they ate the bunny. I get it. It wasn't shot for the movie. Still, it's a movie. It's meant for entertainment. I don't think, footage of, even if it wasn't intended for this purpose, it still shouldn't be used as entertainment. It's kind of how I feel about it. Now, there are other films I've seen, like, what is it? Cannibal Holocaust. Animal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust, I think it is, where they actually kill a couple animals in that movie. And there's a scene, if I'm remembering the right movie, they just butcher a turtle for no reason. They did that for the movie, and it's just makes me want to kick the kick people. It's like there's no use special effects. There's no reason to do that. You're just trying to be gross, and you're torturing and murdering a critter in order to do it. That's uncool, says I. And why didn't they just put a strap on instead? I mean, maybe they didn't have one, but the metal pipe is funnier. I mean, the strap on. I mean, I'm pretty sure strap-ons existed in 1988, 1989. But that wouldn't be as funny. It's like, oh, well, shoot, what are we going to do? All right, I've got it. Let's saw off a length of metal pipe and just jam it into the groin, and we'll put a condom on. Yeah, safety first. Yeah, that's funny. That's one of the 3 funny things in the movie. I was very disappointed in Nekromantik. I was expecting more from Nekromantik. Oh, well. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Remember, Yakuza, not Yakuza. And join me tomorrow for some more Trails from Zero. A game with words that I pronounce incorrectly. A lot of words that I pronounce incorrectly. A lot of names, a lot of places that have roots in French and German, and I don't know how to pronounce them correctly. And, here's the thing, though. I'm doing a live Let's Play. I think people would be kind of annoyed if I said, oh, I better go look up the pronunciation of this, rather than just stumbling through it and then interacting with the chat. But if I were making I don't know, like a professional work product, like a video review covering Trails from Zero or any of the Trails games, I would look up the pronunciation of these names and places and other words that I didn't know, and at least try to pronounce them right. I don't expect people to be perfect. We all make mistakes, and some words in foreign languages are very, very difficult to wrap your tongue around. I totally get it. But, if you got some foreign words, maybe, and you're doing a professional work product, maybe look them up. Look up the pronunciation. try and get it right. You know, just something to consider. So, anyway, hope you're all having a lovely weekend, and Monday's President's Day, so hope you all have the day off, although I doubt many do. I actually do, so that's pretty awesome. So, yay, new job, more vacation days. So I've got a nice 3-day weekend. Hooray for me. All right, hope to see you all tomorrow for some Trails from Zero Fun, is what I was trying to say. All right, have a good night, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.